You pray, you ask, you wait, and yet absolutely nothing seems to happen. You receive no answer, no sign, and no clear direction on what to do next. As the days pass, a very specific kind of doubt starts to surface. You inevitably begin to wonder, is God even listening to me? Did I do something wrong to cause this? It is a highly uncomfortable place, but it is incredibly common. Countless people carry this exact struggle, even if they rarely talk about it out loud due to the guilt of admitting their doubt. The longer that quiet stretches on, the heavier it gets. What starts as a simple unanswered prayer slowly morphs into a deep, lingering sense of distance, leaving you feeling entirely forgotten. Eventually, that prolonged silence creates a convincing illusion of total abandonment. To figure out why that happens, we have to look closer at what that silence actually means, rather than what it feels like. If you look back through biblical history, you'll find that this feeling of being left unread by the creator of the universe is actually a shared experience among the most faithful figures. Take King David. Here is a man famously described as being close to God's own heart. Yet in the Psalms, he writes, "How long, Lord, will you forget me forever?" Despite his devotion, he felt completely hidden and forsaken. Those exact words appear again centuries later. While hanging on the cross, Jesus himself cries out, my God, why have you forsaken me?" In that moment, Jesus experienced the devastating weight of silence. But it wasn't because God had truly walked away. That silence was the direct byproduct of Christ carrying a massive, deeper spiritual burden. These historical moments reveal a crucial rule. Feeling like God is quiet is never empirical evidence that God is absent. The friction we feel usually starts with our own expectations. When we ask a question, we want an immediate, visible, and clear direction. But the book of Isaiah outlines a completely different methodology, stating, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways." God's timing operates on an invisible plane that rarely lines up with our personal schedules. This waiting season functions as an active, structural phase of life. While the surface looks completely barren, serious work happens underground. This quiet period deepens faith, shapes character, and strengthens trust. We see this in Job. He endured immense loss and pain, wrestling with confusion, while heaven offered zero immediate replies. When God finally broke that silence, he didn't hand Job an itemized list of logistical answers. Instead, he provided a profound, overwhelming revelation of his true nature. The waiting season provides the friction-heavy environment required to build a deep and resilient spiritual foundation. Surviving these quiet periods requires God's silence as a deliberate invitation. It is a specific call to bypass a surface-level relationship. Instead, it is an opportunity to bring your raw, brutal honesty to God without pretending everything is fine. It is incredibly easy to trust when the path forward is perfectly lit and the outcomes are obvious. But real, durable faith cannot be built in comfort. It is forged in absolute uncertainty. In those uncertain moments, our emotions become highly unreliable. We might feel miles away from the Creator, but the book of Hebrews counters those feelings with a permanent promise. "I will never leave you nor forsake you." That promise holds up whether you are on top of a mountain or sitting in the dark. Absolute truth and divine presence remain entirely intact, completely independent of your fluctuating emotional state. Knowing this gives us a clear operational directive. In the Gospel of Luke, Jesus advises his followers to always pray and never give up. You aren't doing this to wear God down. You are doing it to maintain the vital connection between you and Him. We also have to redefine what an answered prayer looks like. It rarely arrives as a sudden miraculous fix. More often, the answer is strength to endure another day, peace in the middle of chaos, or quiet guidance over time. If you are in the middle of that quiet stretch right now, you are not being ignored. You have not been forgotten. This silence is heavily populated with preparatory work that the human eye cannot yet perceive. The very quiet moments we desperately try to escape are the exact necessary locations where our deepest spiritual endurance is built.